Have you ever wondered why 80% of African startups fail before their third year? So today, in their startup frequency, in this episode, we shall try to understand the history behind these numbers. And today we have a special guest, John Seno, co-founder and director of OTB Africa.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks, Moses.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
You're welcome. So, for our viewers, for
Yes.
the people who are discovering you for the first time,
Yes.
Kindly just present yourself in just a couple of words.
Yeah.
To make us understand who you are.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a very good question. So my name is John Seno. I'm a co-founder, director of OTB Africa. Before that, I'm a builder.
Okay.
So I've built several businesses. I'm a Christian. I'm a cyclist. I'm a father of 4.
Okay.
That's basically me in a nutshell.
Okay, that's really interesting. Like you talked about building several businesses. Can you
Yes.
just give us like now your history before creating OTB?
It's a long history.
Yeah.
It goes back to 2003, 2004. So we started a music business with my brother.
Okay.
Called Iconic Music. So we did that for a few years between 2004 up until 2010. Then at some point we also had a video production business,
Okay.
Iconic Video. We also did photography. We did video production for corporates, NGOs.
Okay.
And then now OTB started in 2009. So that's
Okay.
16 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, because what I've understood, like first of all, you started as a creative.
I was a rapper.
Okay.
Yeah, I started as a rapper.
I think we shall try to put your soundtrack like in this episode.
I think my bro has the music because now
Yeah.
he was the producer.
Okay.
So he was my producer actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So initially it was just me and him. Him making the beats using Fruity Loops,
Okay.
and then now me rapping on those beats.
Okay.
And then now we decided now to open it up to other people.
Okay.
At some point I stopped rapping when my firstborn son was born.
Okay.
And then now we created a studio. So we had a studio in town called Ram House. Yeah, there's a building called Ram House. So
Okay.
in the basement. Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting. And so when did the idea of OTB start?
So the idea for OTB started in 2009 actually. So my brother did computer science.
Okay.
So he and I did business management.
Okay.
So when he was starting, initially he was working for Safaricom.
Okay.
So he left his job at Safaricom and he wanted to start a business, a software business. And of course, logically, he was looking for a co-founder and he didn't have to look far.
Okay.
Yeah, because now I had done business. So that's basically how OTB started.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just for our viewers, what do OTB stand for?
OTB stands for Outside the Box. Outside the Box Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the legal name.
Okay. And at OTB, what I would like to understand is like, okay, what kind of problem are you trying to solve? Like, what's the main problem that you're solving at OTB?
That's a good question. I mean, I think we're trying to build systems,
Okay.
Smart systems, because we realized that a lot of workflows and processes are not automated. So people spend a lot of time, doing paperwork, forms, and all that, when it can be simplified through digitizing those processes.
Okay.
So we've been doing that for a long time with different government entities, with different businesses. So basically, it's just digitizing manual work, digitizing it and making it, just simplifying the workday. Actually, that's our motto, to simplify the workday.
Okay.
So you don't have to spend, 5 days working on something that you can do in 30 minutes.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because right now, I think we live in, like in the moment of AI.
Yes.
But I do believe like you guys started even like automatizing everything before AI. Because like right now, everyone is talking about AI. How can you simplify work?
Yeah.
Can you just give us like example of like companies that you work with, or you don't have to say the names, but how are you simplifying their work, and what's the impact of OTB like in their companies, like the outcome? Yeah.
So there are two separate areas. Let me classify them as two separate areas. So there's business applications.
Okay.
So business applications include the normal ERPs, human resource management, accounting, finance, CRM, sales, inventory, warehouse, all that kind of stuff. So those are things which you'll find in mostly most businesses. You go to Safaricom, you go to ABL, the processes are more or less the same. So we do that, and then there's now workflow automation. So workflow automation, you find these are niche workflows which are very, what's the word I'm looking for? They're specific to a certain industry.
Okay.
So, for example, like if you're working with Nairobi County, you have to apply for a business permit, for like a single business permit for business, or you have to apply for, maybe at another entity, you have to apply for a different type of permit. So we automate that workflow and now basically digitize it. So we create a portal where somebody can basically, fill in a form, digital form, and then now on the back end, you find that an employee at Nairobi County can process that workflow all the way to the end, and also the user can see the movement of their workflow from the beginning, from the application all the way to approval.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really interesting. Now, because like the main theme for this season, it's the challenges that most of the startup founders faces, like in the Kenyan industry. We all know, we all have example of startup that had huge potential. That attracted a lot of funds from investors, the media,
millions of dollars.
Yeah. Then 3 years down the line, they completely disappear out of the market. And I do believe, like as a co-founder, there's a moment whereby you found yourself like questioning yourself, questioning everything, and also finding yourself like now in one of the darkest moments, like one of the most difficult moment of your startup. So can you just, to our viewers, just try to relate that story?
Dark moments ni mingi.
Because we are all facing challenges. A lot of people are facing challenges out here.
Yeah, I'd say mostly it's the business environment is not it's not particularly easy. I mean, there's a lot of corruption, and this generally you'll find you have good months, you have bad months. There's the challenges of dealing with KRA. So there's a lot of stuff. There's always a crisis. So in business, I would never say there's at any point where umefika. So you always have something that you're dealing with. Sales have dropped. What are you going to do about it next year or next quarter? So it's a roller coaster. It's a roller coaster ride. So I wouldn't say there's a specific event. There've been multiple events. So now, unless now I start listing, but there've been multiple events. Yeah.
And do you think like now the Kenyan market is like it favors startups? Like, is the system like against startups, or does it favors people with ideas, creating?
It's a good question. Okay, regionally, Nairobi is probably the best place to start a business. But now if you compare like our market to like America or the UK, that's now where it becomes a little bit complicated. So there are many different factors. I think, like for example, the circulation of money is not as fast in Kenya as a place like in America or maybe even France or the UK. So delayed payments from clients. Let's say you're working with a certain state agency. It takes long to get paid. So those are some of the challenges that you find now when you're working. When you're trying to do a business in this market. And then, of course, your business model is a big factor. I think people come into the market with a lot of assumptions, but then the market now, of course, tells you other things. So if you're able to pivot and to adapt, you can survive. I think the first rule of business is survival. You have to survive.
The first 3 years, it's just about survival.
Even more than 3 years. I mean, you really have to survive until you get your big break. Then once you get your big break, now even once you get your big break, you have to have the discipline to be able now to navigate that ship now to where it's going.
Okay.
Otherwise, you can be consumed very quickly.
Yeah.
And so now, the problem now with a lot of startups, especially the ones which are funded, is that they're given a lot of money.
In the beginning, right from the beginning.
Right at the beginning, and they don't have the experience. So you see, I mean, I'm 42. So I've spent like almost 20 years doing business, more than 20 years doing business. If you give me money,
Right
like
now,
even $100 million or something, I wouldn't really get that excited. But if you give a 25-year-old the same amount of money, you'll get very excited.
Yeah.
So, and then now on top of that, the money that you're receiving from these investors, with its like venture capital, the VCs usually put a lot of pressure on you to, show growth quickly. So that pressure now means that, for example, even if they've given you like $40 million, they want you to spend the $40 million within 24 months. So now sometimes you start expanding and doing all these things, and with the business case for it is not there, but you have to show the VCs growth.
Yeah.
You have to show them that you're trying or you're doing things. So you open multiple branches,
big offices,
people,
huge
big
offices, a lot of employees. Yeah.
And we can list, the number of tech startups that have gone down that road and where it ended.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was just reading this article, and there was this guy who was explaining the reasons why most of these funded startups, they keep on collapsing.
Yeah.
And one of the things is also now the pressure from the VCs.
Yes.
And the other one is maybe not enough understanding of the market.
Yes.
And others just they had really good ideas, but it was not they never became businesses.
Yes.
They never had their first clients.
Yes.
But I believe now OTB, I think you guys have been around for quite some while.
Yeah.
You have already proved that it's something that it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's one of, how can I say this? One of the things that you have learned that each and every founder needs to, that kind of, the skill that each and every founder needs to have. So at least to have a successful startup or just to survive in the market.
Yeah.
Yeah, to pass the cap of 3 years. What's one skill that you think each founder needs to have?
I wouldn't say it's a skill.
Yeah.
I would say mostly a mindset.
Mindset, yeah.
I think you have to get used to failure. It shouldn't be something that you take yani sikuumize sana. You have to fail, dust yourself off, go back, try again. You have to be comfortable with uncertainty, because it's not like you're guaranteed anything tomorrow or the year after. So you have to live in a space where there's constant chaos, there's constant uncertainty. So are you able to handle that? Because if you're looking for certainty, then just go get a job at Safaricom, because at the end of the day, you'll get paid at the end of the month.
Yeah.
But business doesn't offer that luxury. You have to. People romanticize business. They want to make it look like it's all romantic. It's beautiful. It's nice, and you see people driving nice cars. But a lot of these guys are anxious. They're stressed. Some are battling with depression because there's a lot of failure. For everything that you see that is succeeding, there's maybe 10 failures behind that. Yeah.
That's true.
So that resilience has to be built up. And then now in terms of skills, maybe most founders need to understand finances.
Okay.
Like business finance, so a balance sheet, cash flow statement, profit and loss. They have to understand that the money that you're seeing in the bank is not your money.
It's not your money.
You only pesa biashara. That money belongs to the business. Even if the bank balance is 500 million shillings.
Yes,
Because now you find some people can't make that distinction. So when 500 million shillings. So they go buy a big house in Karen for 200 million. They buy a few cars for another 100 million. And before you know it, the business is gone.
Okay.
So you have to make a distinction between what belongs to the business and what belongs to you. Okay. You're the owner of the business.
But the money doesn't belong to you.
The money doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the business.
Yeah. Even I think most of the founders but now it also depends on the level of the person, but most of people like they have these difficulties like separating the business
From
what
themselves.
they earn from themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the most important point.
Ni muhimu.
Even like just understanding your finance.
Yeah.
Even I think on a personal level, that's one of the things that I had to learn.
Yeah.
When starting this business,
Yes.
separating first of all your finance.
Yes.
Because sometimes we have that tendency of, okay, the business is not doing well, you just keep on putting money.
Yeah.
Then once now the business is doing well, you're like, okay, now thinking of course.
You can pay yourself. You can pay yourself.
Yeah, I have to pay. But you have to make that distinction, which is really interesting. And so now the second part, like the first part for me to just try to understand OTB.
Yes.
Yeah. Like the history behind OTB.
Yeah.
Up to right now. Now the second part, what we would like to know is just now, like with your experience.
Yeah.
Your experience, just like I said before, your company has survived.
Yes.
And grown like while so many others haven't.
Yes.
Statistics have shown up to 80% of African startups fail before the third year.
Yeah.
Why do you think that number is so high?
Well, there's a host of factors. In some cases, funding is an issue.
Okay.
So you might have a good business model, but you just don't have the right funds or enough funds to actualize it. In some cases, your business model might be the one which has a problem. So you have to pivot, So you either pivot, otherwise if you insist on doing something that the market is refused, then you'll have issues. In other scenarios, you'll find, that maybe you don't know enough about your industry.
Okay.
You don't know enough about the market. You don't know enough about your clients, your customers. So that will definitely hamper you and sabotage whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Okay.
So, and then there's a difference between there are businesses which you can bootstrap. So basically, you can start those businesses with nothing, and then there are businesses which they require a lot of capital.
Okay.
So you see, if the business requires a lot of capital, and you don't have that capital, that's going to be, you're almost, dead from day one.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are many factors.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you think like now the one of the first factors is first of all accessing the capital.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So like here, raising capital is significantly harder than like if you're in New York or California or even London. And then let's say the people who would be putting money into these businesses, they tend to lean towards investing in things which they can see, like land, property, whatever it is. We don't have what did I call it? We don't have a business culture of helping businesses which are starting up, or for example, I come to you and I tell you, what's your business worth? Can I take a 10% stake in it? Hand you the money. That's something which is very common in America. Here it's not that common. Also, access to credit is also a big issue. Yeah. So let's say you start the business, it's working, but cash flow, what you need working capital, you go to the bank. The bank, of course, insists on collateral. You don't have that collateral. So that's also an issue. So if we iron out some of those issues, you'll find the success rate will probably be higher.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you think like in a certain particular moment OTB like needed funding? Like were you guys funded?
Yeah, okay. We've never received like VC money or even equity funds.
Okay.
But we have taken loans.
Okay.
We've taken loans from personal loans from people that we know.
Okay.
And also business loans from banks. So you always need working capital.
Yeah.
Because the cycle of our business is basically you do the work, then you get paid maybe after 90 days, maybe 180 days. So it's a long business cycle. So it's not like you walk in and do the job and then get paid the same day.
The same day.
Yeah. So you need funding now to fund that gap. Yeah.
Okay. Another key point that you talked about it is one of the other key points that you mentioned is the understanding of the market and also market research.
Yes.
Yeah. Like before this podcast, we had shot like multiple podcasts with one of our clients, and one of the guests talked about like the lack of doing research about your product.
Yeah.
Is that product is it going to be accepted like in that particular market?
Yeah.
It might be a good product on the paper, but now when it comes to locally, it has difficulties like now penetrating the market, being acceptable by the market. So the market research too is one of the key elements.
Yeah.
With the experience that you have, was it something that right from the beginning you integrated like in OTB, or is it something that now with experience that's when you understand like, hey, by the way, we have to now focus on the market, try to do the market research, understand how things are done and how can we adapt our product? Is it something that you understood like right from the beginning, or it came just after?
No, we didn't start. We didn't understand that at the beginning. At the beginning, I think we were just trying to do what we wanted to do.
Okay.
Then at some point, when that's not working, we decided to pivot.
Okay.
So actually, at the beginning, we were trying to build solutions which were B2C.
Okay.
So business to customer solutions. Then at some point, we realized, this is not working. So I remember me and my brother sat down at Prestige.
Okay.
There was a coffee shop there at the time in 2012 or 2011. And we had a conversation about the business, and we decided, you know what, we need to pivot to B2B and B2G. So business to business and business to government.
Okay.
Because that's where the money is. Yeah. So we did that.
Okay.
So we were willing to pivot. We weren't married to what our initial vision was. The market was telling us, hii haitaweza. So we shifted.
Okay.
So that was, you'd say it was trial and error. Yeah. So we didn't do like research, and then based on the research now we decided.
Okay.
No.
It was just like now from the experience that you had.
Yes, from the experience that we had, those
Okay.
first few years of trying to do something and
Okay.
it's not working out, we decided to pivot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did the business react about that? Because I think not every business owner has that luxury of trying something, then realizing that it's not working, then trying
pivoting.
Pivoting. Because most of them, when they realize like, okay, now it's not working, it's already too late.
Yeah, sometimes if you don't catch it early, you'll have problems. So I think us when we caught it early, we decided to pivot. So within 2-3 years, now we started seeing the fruits of a change in strategy.
Okay.
So we weren't that big at that time, so it didn't really cost us much to pivot.
Okay.
So we hadn't scaled.
Okay. At that moment, how many were you like in the company?
Probably less than 5.
Less than 5 people.
Yeah, we're less than 5. So
And when was it?
that was 2011, 2012.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have been operating for 2 years.
From 2009.
2009. Yeah. So
from
for 2 years.
Yes, it was like 2-3 years.
2-3 years.
And then so we decided to pivot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, what was the impact once you decided to pivot? Like,
it was immediate. Like by 2014,
Okay.
we started seeing results, because now we started going literally where the money is. Yeah. So yeah, and it was easier now to scale from that point. Yeah.
okay. And the reason for pivoting, like, was it because sometimes you can have like that direct feedback from certain clients or even for certain people who are looking for certain services. Like for us, I think that was one of the experience that we had. We had like multiple people coming to the company and saying, okay, you guys, if you have the potential of providing this kind of services, can you provide this service to us? So at OTB, was it the same way, or just like due to the fact that, okay, now you had some difficulties, you did the research and you decided to pivot?
It was a funding issue.
Okay.
Because business to customer business or business to consumer businesses, they require a lot of capital. The capex is insane.
Okay.
I mean, you literally have to sometimes start on day one with like 50, 100 million. So sometimes your vision can be extremely it's massive.
Okay.
And the funding is not there. So we pivoted now to B2B because it was easier to bootstrap. Because you can just go to one client, get a gig there, get paid, move on to the next client, do the same thing. Sometimes you're replicating the same system over and over and over again with different clients. So it was a no-brainer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that brings me to now to my sixth question, which I think you've already answered. Yeah. Which was okay, most of the people are saying the funding is the main challenge.
It's a big challenge.
Yeah, it's a big challenge.
Yeah, and then especially now with the failures, kind of with the I think you're aware of what's been happening over the last 2-3 years. There's been a lot of big names which went under. So that has made funding getting funding even harder.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So another question is now to us. I think even for our viewers, they might need a take about this. What's the biggest, according to you, what's the biggest mistake that founders make in their first 3 years? The first 3 years, what mistakes, even from experience, you realize okay, most of the founders, this is where they fail?
First 3 years?
Yeah.
Ignoring feedback from your customers.
From clients? Okay.
Yeah, from your customers and generally from the market.
Okay.
Because the market doesn't lie. The Apple, that's where you can do a very nice business plan. Because now in the day of AI, you go into Claude, ChatGPT,
give me a business plan.
A business plan very quickly. Alafu ikifika kwa soko kinaumana. So that's number one. You have to listen to the market and what it's telling you.
Okay.
Number two is separating the business from yourself. So like I said, the business's finances are not your finances.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you bag your first 1 million shilling, 5 million shilling contract, si ati unaanza kwenda kununua gari.
First thing, V8.
No, V8 bana. And then now you come and now your guys are niaje, salary. And you're itakuwa ngumu kidogo. But then they're seeing a new car outside.
New cars, yeah.
So that's something that founders need to learn. That the finances for the business are separate from your finances.
Okay.
A team, you need a team. You can't do everything on your own. Yeah, so it's important to get not necessarily people who are. I think sometimes talented people are good, but sometimes you also have to look at character.
Okay.
Yeah, so the character of the people that
character is really important.
It's really important. Even if they're not that good, they tend to be easier to work with. Yeah, and then now you develop them over time, and you grow with them. So sometimes people, place a very massive, what's the word I'm looking for? Premium on talent.
On talent.
But character is also important. Yeah, so your team is important, and then just trusting them and delegating and let them make mistakes. You learn, and we move forward.
Yeah. Yeah, because just like you're saying, first of all, the founder has to separate themselves from the company.
Yes.
Because when you start a company, we always have this feeling it's your product, it's your baby, it's everything.
Yeah. You're in love with it.
Exactly, and you get emotionally attached to it.
Exactly.
And I think that's one of the mistakes. Just like you have said, separating the business from you, and knowing okay, the finance. There's a big difference between the company's finance and your finance. Yeah. And also just because when you get emotionally attached to a business, it becomes difficult even delegating.
Yes.
Because you think that you're the only one who can do it right.
Yes, you think you're better than people that you've employed.
Exactly. Yeah. So delegating can also be one of the biggest issues. And also you mentioned something really interesting when it comes to character.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think even on a personal level, even in our company, it's something that I had to learn.
Yeah.
You can be one of the most skilled person, but if you're one of the shittiest person to work with, then there's no need for you to be around.
True.
That's something I had to learn that.
You learned that the hard way.
Yeah, I had to learn that because you can find someone who's really skilled. He knows what's
really talented.
Yeah, really talented. Yeah. But when it comes to character, inakuwa ngumu.
Yeah.
And the worst thing, it always even affects the working environment.
Yeah, kabisa.
Not only for like the relationship between you and him, but also like with the other colleagues.
Yes.
To a point whereby it now becomes a big issue.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with you about that. So just before we finalize our conversation,
Yes.
I have two questions,
Yes.
and I think you have just given like some small points, like some small points before. It's about like now, at what moment do you think a founder can become the biggest risk to his own company?
That's a good question. I think I've probably mentioned it already before, but that not being able to separate yourself from the business, and also being emotionally attached to the business. So there has to be some level of detachment,
Okay.
so you can see things clearly. Of course, after a while, the energy is not the same.
Yeah.
So it's important now to do succession planning,
Okay.
and start thinking of the business beyond you. So like that's now why even at OTB, the CEO is a lady called Tracy Wauda.
Okay.
She became the CEO last year.
Okay.
And basically she's now the future of the company. But you have to have that long-term thinking. It's not about me, it's not about, my name, it's not about, everything else. It's about the business and how can we make this business sustainable. Okay. So the founder becomes a hindrance to the company if he's not able to see that maybe it's time for me to step back and let other people run the show.
Okay.
Because sometimes you don't even have the same energy that you had like 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Or 5 years ago. The motivation maybe has dipped. Maybe there's somebody who's younger and more energetic who's willing to drive the vision forward.
Okay. Yeah, that's really interesting. Because like now at OTB, how does it work? Because as you explained in the beginning, you and your brother are co-founders of the company.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
and what position does he has like in the company right now?
So my brother Edwin Seno, he's director for technology.
Okay.
Because now he's the geek, he's the tech guy,
okay.
he's the coder. Me, I'm director for finance and strategy.
Okay.
We have another director for business development and partnerships. He's called Emmanuel Lewebuga. He's Ugandan.
Okay.
So we're a proper East African company.
Yeah.
And then now there's Tracy, who's the CEO.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's really interesting. So like right from the beginning, like did you even like start thinking of this model, like of the succession story, like right from the beginning, or is something that came with time? As time went by, you started thinking of maybe we need now to think about now the future of the company, maybe without us or with someone else at the top.
Well, I think for us, the vision is for the business to be bigger than us.
Okay.
So at some point, I mean, I can also speak for my brother. We would want to, just be on the beach looking at dashboards and then calling people in Nairobi.
Yeah, how is everything?
Unaendaje huko? I'm seeing these numbers bana zikae mzuri. But the vision is for the business to be bigger than us.
Okay.
So that's what we're trying to work towards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Because like it's the first time like now with all the people that you have been trying to interview.
Yeah.
Like someone like a company that has already like now started to thinking of this how to restructure the company with or without them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even a couple of years ago, I think with this supermarkets, it used to be a huge supermarket in Kenya back in the days.
Yeah.
And we were having a conversation with a friend of mine. Yes. I didn't want to mention it, but yeah.
Mention names.
So, and we were discussing about now what made Nakumatt like to disappear.
Yeah.
And one of the questions that was like, okay, now the founders, or they didn't think about now the succession of the business.
Yeah.
Like they never thought about the business without them.
Yes.
So when like things happen, then the business went down. I don't know if you agree with me.
Yeah.
And I think it's a conversation even I've been having with my friends, like now in France, in the diaspora. Like most of the time in the African businesses, like the African model, we don't think about what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Even we found ourselves like now giving more responsibility to our kids, despite the fact that we never prepare them for those positions. Then once you disappear, the business disappears with you. So like now thinking about the success of the company, the succession of the company, and now remodeling like the company in a way that if I'm around, if I'm not around, the company shall grow without me or even outgrow me. I think that's one of the most important things.
Yeah, it is important. I mean, you're not going to live forever, and I think if you're thinking about your business from a perspective where it's going to outlive you, then succession has to be at the top of your mind. Then, of course, there's corporate governance. You want, like a chairman, a board, to oversee and overlook even your decisions or in the decisions of management. So, like in the case of Nakumatt, I mean, they did have opportunities to implement corporate governance, but they didn't take those opportunities. Naivas has been a different story. They got funding from IFC and I think from several other institutional investors. And they've tried to put in those structures. We'll see over time how that plays out.
So like structure is really important.
Yeah, structure is important. Systems and processes are important. Not on day one. I mean, I wouldn't advise a founder to be obsessed with structures and processes on day one. That's a waste of your time. Day one, you need sales. You need money.
Sales clears everything.
Sales, everything. So even sometimes you'll find like we get an inquiry from somebody who wants to do an ERP, a business application system. And then I ask them, what's the size of your business? Tells me they're like maybe 1 or 2 guys. And I'm like, there's really no point. Not at this stage.
Not at this stage,
Tafuta pesa, scale the business, and then at that point now you can now start implementing systems and processes.
Like now for instance, like at what moment, like at what size do you think like someone can start thinking about that?
When the business is big enough to the point where you can't control it. Like you have too many people, and there's too many things going on. So at that point, you have to start, thinking about processes and systems and governance. So you find even in Kenya a lot of big businesses doing, really big revenue. They're still running like startups. Basically like kiosks.
Like everything depends on the founder and everything just like
and it's like it can be like $1 billion business. Annual revenue is like $1 billion. There's no systems. There's no accounting software. There's nothing. Everything is just manual. But they're doing serious. They're making serious money. Serious money. But now the problem is, if the founder drops dead,
everything goes with him.
Everybody goes with him. Everything goes with him.
Yeah, that's really interesting because like now, even from the example, and from the example that I gave in the past. Like, I think you're one of this successful example of how families are working together. It was not part of my question, but when you were talking, I'm like, this is an example of something that is working. So how did it work? Like, because personally, from the experience that I have, like one of the challenges that people like in the African market, like in the African continent, they have like now is working in family, like the family business.
Working with the sibling.
Working with siblings.
Siblings.
And it can be quite challenging because, of course, like you're emotionally attached to the person, like you are related to the person. How can you now bring in like now a proper structure whereby like now there's a structure. We might be brothers, we might be siblings, but this is business. This is not like family business. This is business. Like for people who are looking at us and who might be in the same situation whereby now they are like related to their families, they're working with their families. What kind of advice can you give to them?
That's a good question.
Because the main goal of this podcast is like, how can you build a successful podcast? Not podcast, but startup. Businesses.
It's actually a hard question because it's not common. I think a lot of people have actually wondered how do I work with my brother, because I don't think there are a lot of siblings that work together.
Most have tried and failed.
A lot of tried and failed. But I think also I'll have to fall back onto the personal relationship.
Okay.
Especially, this is somebody that you've grown up with.
Okay.
So you kind of understand each other. And then also if you appreciate that this person has a skill or a talent that I don't have, and vice versa.
Okay.
So you kind of complement each other. So there's yin and yang.
Okay.
So my brother is more technical. I'm more business oriented.
Okay.
So yeah, it's something you have to be very intentional about.
Okay.
And then, now when you're running the business together, you also have to, make compromises and basically understand each other. The same way you have to understand each other growing up.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's that one is a little bit more nuanced.
Okay.
It's not easy. I wouldn't recommend that everybody gets into business with family members. Sometimes it can be pretty dicey. Yeah. So you find personal issues making their way to the boardroom.
I think family boardrooms, I think are the most difficult ones.
Kabisa.
Yeah.
Kabisa. Yeah.
Because that's where there's a lot of emotions, there's a lot of and that's where the structure comes in.
Yeah. Structure, and then even the way you are as individuals. So for example, I would say now in our business, my relationship with my brother is more important than the business.
Okay.
So so kuna vitu tu zingine unakanyagia tu. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
So my second last question.
Yeah.
If you had to choose just one thing.
Yeah.
Just one thing. Looking at the camera.
Yes.
If you had to choose just one thing that separates the startups that survive from the ones that fail, what would it be?
Just one thing.
Yeah. Just one thing.
One thing, I'd go back to being able to embrace failure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's important. If you are unable to embrace failure, you're going to have problems because you have to fail. Ni lazima.
It's part of the journey.
Yeah, if you're going to win, you have to fail.
Yeah.
So how many times can you fail and get back up? I know it sounds like a cliche. It's like something that you'd hear in one of those Hollywood movies, but it's the truth. So embrace failure.
Embrace failure. And one last more. What's the one lesson you wish someone had told you when you started OTB Africa?
One lesson.
Yeah.
That's a good question. One lesson that I wish that somebody had told me when I started OTB Africa. How hard business is. That would have been their heads up would have been nice.
Business is it's a marathon. It's not for the faint heart.
It's not for the faint-hearted. So yeah, I think, although counterintuitively also, if I had known, or if we had known how difficult it was, we might not have started it.
Yeah, that's a good.
So sometimes it's just good not to know. Just too. Then by the time you umeenda sana, you can't go back.
You cannot
it's
go
either
back.
this or nothing.
Exactly.
Boom or bust.
Exactly.
But if I had known how hard it was, that would have been a good heads up.
Okay. Yeah, because even I think a couple of weeks ago I told myself the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, if you knew in 2020 that you're going to go through all these things, would you have started?
You wouldn't start.
No.
Even the CEO of I think he's the founder and CEO of NVIDIA.
NVIDIA.
What's his name? Wang. Yeah? He said the same thing. He actually said if he knew how hard it was going to be to build that business, he wouldn't have started.
Yeah.
Answer.
Yeah, that's true.
The anxiety, the sleepless nights,
the stress.
Unaona tu gari lakini we.
There's a lot of things exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I think most people even sometimes even your team doesn't understand the pressure that you have.
No, they don't.
There's a lot of pressure, especially opening a business as a founder.
Yeah.
Hey, if you don't have the muscle for this,
it's a pressure cooker. But
yeah. It can be really, really difficult. Yeah. So just closing up, if Startup Frequency invited you back in 5 years,
Yeah.
what would you hope has changed about African startups ecosystem? And what role do you hope OTB Africa has played in making that happen?
What would I hope would have changed in the ecosystem, the
The
startup ecosystem?
yeah. Like in 5 years from now,
Well, more funding.
more funding.
More funding.
Yeah.
Easy access to credit. I think we need that's a conversation that needs to be had, especially at the macro level. And then, more people just need to get in there and just do their thing, come and buy. If it goes well, it goes well. And just generally even thinking more about the business model.
Okay.
Yeah, thinking more about the business model, because sometimes the whole fundraising thing is it can become a business on its own.
Okay.
So you might even know that your business is not viable, but because you're collecting cash from some VC based in Seattle, that's actually the business, fundraising. So I hope we now move to a space where we're actually thinking about the business and actually solving real problems, African problems, with African solutions, by Africans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, even like as you are shooting like this season, like the Voice and Vision like season, and one of the guests said what you have said, like it's time now for Africans to start solving like their Africans problem.
Yes.
Because like just on a daily basis, we are all like in Africa, in Kenya, any country in Africa, we face like a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
And that challenge can be another business idea.
Yes.
We should not try to invent or to solve a solution that no one is facing locally.
Yes.
Or because someone in Seattle, in Paris is facing that problem, we think that, okay, it can be applied to Africa, it can be applied to Kenya. And that's when you said like now the market research.
Yeah.
Can like the idea that you have can be transformed into a business. Can you have like your first client?
Yeah.
Or you're just depending from funding. Then when you realize like, okay, now when the market has never been prepared or they has never been prepared for that product.
Or the market can't sustain that business. Because you find like maybe the disposable income is not there. So if you're trying to copy something from America directly, copy paste here, you might find things are different. So it has to be something which is adapted to this environment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Moses.
Yeah, it was my pleasure.
Pleasure.
Yeah, so parting shot. Anything to our viewers, where they can find you, social media?
Yeah, you can find us at OTB Africa. That's our social media handle. And our website is www.otbafrica.com.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks.
And it was